college football recap. I know Chris wanted to talk about the the Wisconsin Badgers.
So I feel like this is probably the most invested in air quotes that I've been in this team in a little while, and it's because of how terrible they are and how frustrated. Like, I didn't realize I could get this frustrated at a team. I know there's a lot of people that are apathetic. It's just we're back to the Don Morton era again, pretty much, like with this team. I mean, Maryland was the one team where we could see possibly a win the rest of the year. I could have maybe seen Minnesota or Iowa. And then you go out and look like that, completely lifeless. The crowd was chanting "Fire Fickle" in the first half. Special teams doesn't look good. The offensive line, which is supposed to be the staple of the university, looks terrible. The running backs can't get anything going. They also committed malpractice this weekend by letting Billy Edwards Jr. take the field. Danny O'Neal doesn't look good. Just everything is wrong, and Luke Fickle's basically a dead man walking at this point. I don't know how he's going to motivate his team to try and play well when he knows that his job is basically done.
Michigan State got ransacked by USC, sadly, but they'll be all right. They're 3-1, so I'm happy.
I'd like to say this real quick. As someone who's been working with the Badgers at ESPN Milwaukee a little bit, for like broadcasting purposes, their season's over. I mean, we all called this a few weeks ago.
It was over when it started.
Right.
It was over when we couldn't put up more than 17 against Miami.
I mean, it's just like, what? I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is. I saw a tweet and it said, "I can't believe we're seeing 30 years of work go down in 3 years." It's like they were speechless. Like, the past 3 years for the Badgers have not been. It's
not even that. It's not even that, dude. Those are coming from random guys on the internet. Look at what Vince Beagle has been posting. Look at what Zach Showalter has been posting. Look at what Melvin Gordon has been posting. Arguably the greatest Badger running back ever has been posting about this team. Even the guys who helped build the program are giving up on the program. The Luke Fickle hire, now when it happened, you cannot tell me with a straight face that when Luke Fickle got hired by the Badgers that it was not a good move. You can't tell me that when it happened. When it happened, you can't tell me that it was a bad move. In hindsight, everyone knew the threat. Everyone knew that there was a chance that Fickle could turn, because he was trying to change up what Badger football was a little bit in terms of like modernizing the game a little bit for the program, instead of just being a ground and pound team playing traditional Big Ten football where your offensive line is the core of everything you do. He wanted a little bit more flash. He wanted a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more big play potential, which is fine because that's where the sport is gone, right? So that's fine. However, what is not fine is the fact that the Badgers from 2005 to 2024, in terms of an increase in football spending, are the least funded football program in the Big Ten.
What did Deion say?
We're not talking about Oregon. I'm not talking about any of the other ads of Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA. I'm not talking about those guys. What I am talking about is the 14 teams before them: Indiana, Michigan, Penn State, Purdue. Out of those teams, they are the least, in terms of increase in funds, least funded. Their percentage increase since 2005, 125%. The next closest is Purdue at 134. What do you notice about Purdue? They are a terrible football program. The next closest after them, if my math checks out here, is Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't need to fund their program. They've been paying their guys since 2005, right? That's hypothetically. But another close one to them. Another close one. Michigan State, outside of a couple seasons, pretty bad. Illinois, 277% increase over the last 20 years. Outside of this season, and even, dude, even outside of this season, regardless of this last week, they have been terrible over the last 20 years. They have not been a good football school at all. Even up until this year, they still got the brakes beat off of them by 60 at Indiana. They got the brakes beat off them by 60 in Indiana. Indiana's another team. They've increased their revenue by a lot, especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Indiana
To
football
add
is
in
terrible.
better coaching, to add in better players. Like Fernando Mendoza's looked very good so far this year. But look at them before that. They were terrible.
They were
Wisconsin
For a long
is
time.
aligned. The bottom line here is that Wisconsin does not. There's a reason they're a public Ivy institution, and it's not because of where they put the money for football. They don't put the money in football. They put it into other things. They care more about the academic side, and that's cool, right? That there's no shame in that. However, the moral of the story is the game has changed. If there isn't an influx in revenue for this team to actually go and recruit guys, we are in for a 30-year period. After a 30-year period of long-term success and building out the program to what it was by playing the game the right way and recruiting the right way, we are now setting ourselves up for a 30-year period of madness. We're going to turn into Nebraska football very fast. Very fast. Israel Armas, one of the top recruits in the country at quarterback, just came and visited on Saturday. I'm sure. Thank you. Cat allergies. Israel Armas came and visited Wisconsin on Saturday.
Yeah, you look like you died.
I'm sure. I'm almost certain he is not going to come to Wisconsin after what he just witnessed.
Well,
Mike
and I don't
McCarthy-
blame him either.
No, Mike McCarthy though visited McIntosh over the weekend.
Sam.
I like it. I like it.
No,
I like it.
before we speculate about it, though, his daughter is one of, like, apparently she's a really talented volleyball player. So it could literally just be because his daughter was taking a visit to see an actual successful Wisconsin program in the volleyball team. But, I mean, the biggest thing for me, too, is, like, back to what you said about, like, trying to change things. Apparently, I was listening to ESPN radio yesterday for a while, and because I was out driving, but apparently there's high schools in Wisconsin where we used to get our bread and butter guys, the big beefy farm boys for the offensive line that made what made our program so great for years. They haven't seen a representative from Madison or Wisconsin in years. And this goes back to when Paul Chryst was the coach. It's just a complete lack of effort on the recruiting front in state. And now those guys are starting to go to schools like Notre Dame, Indiana, out-of-state schools. We're losing recruits to them, and that's why we're taking a hit when it comes to offensive line. A lot of those guys, like Mark Tauscher, for example, Joe Thomas, they're in-state guys that went on to have really successful careers in the NFL, and we recruited them from in-state. We haven't been doing that, and that's a big reason why he's another one, yeah. Just guys that we would, J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, guys from the defense, Zach Bonds from Wisconsin. These are all talented
Braylon
players
Allen,
that come from the
Melvin
state.
Gordon, Trey Wins is Michigan State, but
either way, I mean, it's we're not winning over the in-state talent. With basketball, they've been able to get away with it because they won enough of the in-state talent for so long. And they're doing better in the portal than football has been. But it's a lack of effort in state, and that's why the team's been struggling so much. They've been trying to chase something that they aren't.
Yeah.
it's a shame. It's a crying shame.
I mean, Wisconsin's one of the toughest places to play when the team is good. Right now,
no more.
Everyone's apathetic towards the team. I mean, a night game at Camp Randall used to be feared. It's not anymore. Like this year when we play against Ohio State in a couple weeks, it's going to be over by the second quarter.
There's more energy at the Coldplay concert earlier this year than there was at any Badgers home game this season thus far. And it's only going to continue to be that way because our schedule doesn't get any easier. That was the last easy game we had, and we got the break speed off of us, 27-13? We got our asses handed to us, and now it doesn't get any easier. That was the last easy game of the entire season. It's going to be bad. 2-10. They're going to be 2-10.
I mean, not only that, too. It's like people used to go to those games to watch the Badgers. When they go to watch in a couple weeks when Ohio State comes to town, they're coming to watch Ohio State. They're not coming to watch Wisconsin. That's the difference. Like, will that game be sold out? Yeah, maybe, but they're not there to watch us. They're there to watch Jeremiah Smith ball out against Ricardo Hallman, who's regressed every
Mhm.
season too.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
another thing.
dude.
Player development
What
is not
happened to
existent with this
him?
team. There's nothing with this team that's going well right now. Players aren't developing. Braden Locke was a 4-star recruit out of high school. Looked like he didn't belong on a Division I football field for a couple of years. Danny O'Neal looks like he doesn't belong on a Division I football field. They struggled for a half against Middle Tennessee State, one of the worst teams in Division I. That's a indictment on where this program is at right now. They can't develop, they can't recruit, they can't win guys over in the portal, and they don't fund the program, and everyone doesn't care. And honestly, I don't blame them because I don't care that much either.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not the Wisconsin Badgers fan. I'm not a fan for real. But it is what it is. But Naj, you have anything to say about college football or the Badgers or whatever?
I think he's still lagged out.
Yeah, kind of seems that way.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, you're still roboting though. Yeah.
I mean, there's another program. There's another program that's cooked really quick too, and that's the Clemson Tigers. Man, what happened?
Oh
I mean,
my god,
Dabo Sweeney, it's just fallen off the cliff. Since NIL became like a bigger thing, he refuses to adapt to the times too, and he's gonna probably lose his job over that.
He 100% will. And I think that you just nailed the hammer. That you hit the nail on the head here. He is still trying to play the right way. He's still trying to play college football the right way. And I will gladly stand on the right way kind of thing here, where I'm talking about you don't need to pay your college football players. Your students first. That's all. That's being a traditionalist or a college football purist. I get it, but that's how I'm going to be. I don't agree. Like I've been so seesawing back and forth on this. I've teeter-tottered back and forth forever. And right now it's reached the point where I'm back on the side of why do we pay college athletes? Like the whole point of NIL was not for universities to pay their players because that's when it becomes a professional sport. The goal of NIL was for guys to go to companies or for companies to go to guys and say, hey, we want you to be featured in our 30-second ad spot on the news tonight. Are you in? All right, sure. Let's go put this together. I'll get my royalties. I'm getting an agent. My agent will work out this contract. We'll get my royalties set. Let's do it. That's how they were going to get paid. Not the universities actually paying them salaries. Like I get it's a multi-billion-dollar sport, but that's besides the point. Universities are not professional football franchises. This is not professional football. This is college sports. There's a reason why you never see scrimmages between the New Orleans Saints and the Alabama Crimson Tide, because the Saints would beat the Tide by 50 still. They're not pro athletes. They're 19-year-old kids. They should not be getting paid mega millions of dollars to play a college sport.
Well, and that's why you see guys sticking around in college for so long too. I mean, why go to the pros? And we see this in basketball too. Why go to the pros and sign a league minimum contract? Yeah, you can make more money playing for Auburn, like Janai Broom did, or I forget the 25-year-old's name for them, but he's another one of those guys. It's like you might as well just bide your time out in college. Hunter Dickinson is another great example of that. Just stay in college and make anywhere from like $1 to $3 million a year, because it's more than the veteran minimum you're going to be making in the NBA or in the G League or something like that. It's just, I'm with you on the fact that I think players should be able to get paid. Yeah, Chad Baker-Mazara. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Brands should be able to pay players because I think that they should be able to make money for what they do, and like obviously earning scholarships and whatnot for being Division I athletes. But the fact that universities are paying them money, and it's basically like the portal at this point is just free agency. It's free agency. Whoever offers you the most money, that's where you go, pretty much.
Yeah, these are all one-year contracts. There's no continuity here. All the guys that get the money are going to the best programs possible for that money. And it's at some point, do you just break off and become a development league? I mean, that's the question we got to ask. I talked about this earlier on the podcast. Probably, I don't know, it was like April, May. It was around draft time. And I said the same thing I'm saying now. When will the day come where the SEC breaks off from NCAA and FBS? Because FBS is already basically broken away from NCAA. It's no longer NCAA football. It's their own thing. But when is the SEC or the Big Ten now? When are they going to break away and form their own development league? There's no geography be damned in college sports now. When are they going to just become a development league? Because at this point, that's what it is. It's just a development league. They're getting paid to play. It's minor league football is what it is. It's minor league football.